Y'all had some questions, I have some answers. Let's go ahead and start spilling some of my secrets. I asked you guys over on my Instagram to ask me some juicy and spicy questions, you know, just a way to like make sure there's some interesting questions going around in the table, in the like question pool, you know, vibes. In the way y'all immediately started acting a plum fool. A plum fool. I'm almost embarrassed. I'm almost embarrassed. First question, most valuable lesson you've learned from being a content creator so far? Out of my 10 years of doing this, I think the most valuable thing that I have brought into my conscious is the fact that even though you love what you do, you still should be diversifying what you do. Hence the reason I'm starting things such as a podcast and streaming twice a week. If you didn't know, twitch.tv/aliyah after hours in the podcast, baby, it's coming soon. I feel like diversifying your workload makes you more intrigued in what you're doing, and it gets rid of that repetitiveness that a lot of people feel when they do too much of the same thing, whether it's work or their hobby. You just get burnt out so much easier when you're doing the same thing over and over and over. So finding a way to diversify what you're doing with your time as a content creator, whether that's learning a new skill, learning a new editing style, anything like that, it could definitely make the difference in how you approach and feel about the job. So, bow. What advice do you have for new creators? Been watching you since 2017. First of all, you're so strong because, baby, that was a time and not necessarily a good one. I think my biggest thing when it comes to people wanting to do content creation or become influencers, simply just be able to be flexible, because so many things have changed even in the last 4 or 5 years that I've been doing this, and the changes are only coming quicker and quicker and quicker. There's nothing you could do about that except adapt. So if you are not flexible and able to adapt with changes, you might be struggling, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a lot of my issues that I have had with social media in the past had to do with me getting comfortable in routine, and when things change, I'm like, what are we gonna do now? Like, I'm kind of scared. But I think being able to adapt and be flexible with those changes is the best thing you could do for yourself, your content, and your audience. What is your dream job? I had to pick one thing that I could absolutely do for free. Like, I would do for free, like bills aside, I would 100%, I would love to travel a lot as a job because it's fun. And not like either that or I'd love to be a world famous photographer. I love photography so bad, as well as videography. I feel like that would be super duper duper fun. If you weren't doing YouTube/content creation, what else would you be doing? Probably marketing. I'd probably be an intern somewhere. You know, the vibes. Nothing insane. Okay, and of course I would pick like the hardest job field to get into, because marketing is really hard to get into. Genuinely, how are you? I feel like I recently am coming out of a rut because life came at me at 200 miles per hour about a month ago, and I'm just getting over the aftermath of that. And I'm not really happy about that because it threw me off for so many weeks, and I just been so sad. Like, I literally could not get anything done. I wanted to do stuff and I couldn't bring myself to do it. I would get distracted by my damn phone. And usually when I want to do things I want to do, I typically like to put the phone down and do it, and I just could not put down my phone. I was in a constant state of wake up, get on my phone, brush my teeth, shower, get on my phone, go to bed, maybe eat if I felt like it that day, and that's not normal. You know life is bad when that parent calls you and says, talk to me, I want to help you, and you start tearing up on the phone. It was bad for me. I feel like I'm definitely coming out of that kind of slump, rut, depressive episode, mental break, whatever you want to call it. Okay, well, I was not acting like me, and I think I genuinely feel like I am getting better. Like, I don't feel the best, but I am way better than I was 4 weeks ago, and I think I'm going to continue to get better. Yes, thank you for checking. I appreciate it. Where do you get all this stuff to make your matcha? I get all my stuff from Amazon, but there is this really cute matcha bowl off Etsy. It has koi fish on it, and I think it's literally so adorable and so cute. I want it so bad. But my bowl, whisk, like little spoon to scoop the matcha is from Amazon, strainers from Amazon. It all came in a kit. And then here's all the matchas that I've used with ratings, because picking a good matcha, them grass accusations don't come from nowhere. It's either because the powder isn't sweetened or there's just too much powder within said matcha. So if y'all have any recommendations on where to get good matcha powder or like matcha tools, please let me know, because I'd love to support a small business over Amazon. What are your hobbies? I love photography. I love videography. I like to color. I'm still trying to learn how to crochet. A lot of people ask me about that. I am still learning. We're in a really weird spot right now. It's very interesting to try to do something for the first time when you're an adult and you're not automatically good at it, and it's just like, what do you mean I'm not good at this? I'm 22. Why can't I wrap some yarn around a knitting needle? Like, what's going on? I'd also like to say one of my hobbies that I do kind of out of obligation, but it turned into one of my hobbies, is cooking. I want to get into baking because I used to be really big into baking when I was younger. Reading as well. I've been in a pretty bad reading slump recently, and I think that's just the aftermath of my depressive episode. So I'm just not indulging myself in that right now. So there's that. How has it been being a content creator since you were a teen? A lot of things went wrong that I wish I could go back and fix, but a lot of things went right. And I'm really glad that I started when I did, because as an adult, I feel like I have a certain appreciation for what I do now. I'm almost like glad I started when a teen, so because I have basically every single thing from when I started documented up until now, and I can really watch videos and get taken back to a different time in my life. Even if I'm not really talking about how I feel in the video, I can watch certain things and know what was going on behind the scenes, what I wasn't recording, how I was feeling, what I was going through. And it's just, I feel like it's my personal little like diary. This diary has like over 10 years of entries, and I think that's crazy. It's been a ride, but I have grown to appreciate every single second of said ride. What's it like being a big idol influencer that people look up to? I don't want to necessarily be like, yeah, people look up to me, blah. But I think there was a point in my career where people genuinely did, and that's when I was doing a lot of girl talk, hygiene videos. And since I kind of let that go, I don't really see myself being people's big sister anymore, because when people are like a big sister, baby, they basically just mean they're using you for your advice and leaving. So ever since I kind of moved away from that type of thing, I don't think I fit in the type of like influencer category. I make content. I don't think I have much influence. If people do stuff because of me, that's fine, but I'm not doing like so much influencing to the masses that like if I wear leather denim pants, or like, no, like we're not on that type of level. When I was doing that type of content, I would say it was so interesting. I feel like when I take myself back to that time, I simply cannot figure out what the hype was. Like, I could not figure out what people were gassing me up for. Like, why are you just taking this random 15, 16-year-old girl's advice? I don't know you, you don't know me, but I'm gonna tell you how to smell good all day, and we just gonna trust it. The internet has come so far, you know? I think it's just confusing, because it's like, at the end of the day, I am a stranger, and we're trusting strangers on the internet for advice, unsolicited advice at that. I think it's a little intimidating as well, because so many people did leave a lot of their issues that they could not talk to somebody about on me, and I felt like I had to do a lot to appeal to those people who didn't have anyone, if that, not necessarily appeal, but it was just, it was a lot of pressure, because I feel like if I wasn't doing that, nobody would care about me, and come to find out, I was in fact right about that. But it was intimidating. At 16, 17, I just wanted to live my little life and talk about my stupid little day, and I'm talking about tampons and honey pot and Olay body wash, and like that was cool at the time, but like looking back, that was a lot on my mental, especially because looking back, a lot of people didn't really care about me unless I was giving them advice, which basically was telling my 16, 17-year-old self, nobody gives a f about you unless you are absolutely providing them with something that they can benefit from. That's not normal. Like, that's absolutely not normal. Has it set in yet that you're really a homeowner at 20? Actually, 22 now, as of May 29th. Kind of set in the first day when I was in charge of how everything was going in the move, and that was really, really freaking stressful. I think the only time it felt surreal was like a month or two in, and then after I was like, oh, I own a house. Cool beans. On to the next. Do you see yourself still being an influencer in the future? I don't know, because I feel like compared to when I was a teenager, I've kind of pulled back from my openness and how like vulnerable I am on the internet for personal reasons and safety reasons, because people are crazy and they like to chat. Parasocial relationships are an absolute thing, and when I was little, I didn't really care about that, but now as an adult, I feel like sometimes my boundaries are mistaken for she's being guarded, she's not being open, she sounds like it's the same stuff over and over. That aside, I don't mind doing this for a really long time, but I don't want to be one of those people where I don't know how to leave it alone. Like, I want to be able to end this chapter, very, very, very long chapter and very big part of my life, on a good note whenever I do decide to do that, and in the healthiest way possible. Most important tips for owning a car. Oh, I was just talking about this the other day. Don't buy a car that you cannot afford the maintenance. Okay, everybody loves a luxury vehicle. Everybody wants the expensive cars. I don't know why in general people do not disclose. You need to think about how much maintenance is going to cost for said car. I drive a 2021 Honda Civic Sport. Before my car was paid off, I had to juggle a car note and maintenance for my car, which wasn't a lot. Literally the most maintenance I do is like oil changes and like tire rotations. When it comes to owning a car, be aware of what other costs come with said car, such as maintenance, such as gas. If something goes wrong with said car, do you know how much like you're gonna have to be putting down for that? Like, for example, I could have got so many other cars. I could have ended up with a very like really nice luxury car, really young. But I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, girl, do you want to pay luxury car maintenance cost? No. So that's why I got a car that I can easily maintain. Get something you can maintain with ease. Okay, That's the best thing you can do for your pockets and your patience. Because one thing I can't stand is a car problem. Those are the worst problems to have. So get yourself a reliable car with low maintenance costs, okay? Any advice for college students in a rut or just burnt out? Sorry, I'm trying to get put back in that place where I hated my life. It's kind of hard to realize and point out when you're in a rut in college, because I feel like everything is so fast paced. You don't have time to sit, realize you're in a rut. It's just like, now what? Like, I'm sad, but I have like 10,000 other things to do. My one piece of advice would have to be, if you're a student, I don't care how busy you are, you need to take some time and sit and check in with yourself mentally about how you're feeling about your workload, how you're feeling emotionally, physically, mentally, and how can that affect you. Because if you are not showing up for yourself in those aspects, you cannot show up as a student. And I think the worst thing that can happen is knowing that you're struggling and you don't really feel like you could do anything about it, and it gets you in a deeper hole than you already are in. And I don't think that's fair. I think when it comes to that, just do the check-ins with yourself. It's the best thing you can do, and give yourself breaks when it permits. I know breaks as a college student is like non-existent because there's so many things going on at once, but I promise you, you're gonna be fine. Top 3 favorite things currently: shows, music, apps, books, furniture. I'm gonna do specifically what this person asked. The Bear, coming out this month, June 27th. I am seated. If you are curious about my favorite characters, Sydney, Cousin, Richie, Sugar, Middle Child Syndrome, that's my sister, okay? I love watching Pretty Little Liars, and then my other favorite show right now that I keep watching would have to be Gossip Girl. I'm rewatching Gossip Girl right now. Current favorite albums: since it's summertime, Sunburn by Dominic Fike. I recently have been obsessed with Eternal Sunshine. Y'all know that already. And then I've been having a resurgence of Call Me If You Get Lost from Tyler, the Creator, but also I have been streaming Volcano by Jungle. There's 4 for you. Apps, I've been loving the Rise Sleep Tracker app. I want to track my sleep and take better care of myself, and I can't take better care of myself. My sleep is in the dumps. So I've been using that a lot. My other favorite app recently, I'm looking at mine right now, I have to say, is Twitch. I spend a lot of time on the Twitch app because I started streaming. And then my other favorite app right now would have to be Letterboxd. I officially have fallen into the I need to fill out my Letterboxd thing before I leave the movie phase of my life. And one thing about me, I'm gonna open that Letterboxd when them credits is rolling, and I'm gonna just get the type. Books, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been reading that much, so I feel like I can't really say anything, but the last 2 books I read was Grimrose Girls and The Wicked Remain, and those are pretty solid. Furniture pieces. What furniture piece have I been loving? I recently have been wanting this new couch from IKEA. For my bonus room / podcast studio, and it's green, it's corduroy, it's right up my alley. I don't know if this counts as furniture, but my whole desk setup, I love my desk right now. I love sitting at her. She's super nice, really worth the money. Also from IKEA, if you ever need to work, baby, it's us. And then I also really love my current PC / Mac setup, which includes my Mac Mini and my Samsung Smart Monitor. Thoughts on dropping out of school to pursue a career in content creation? If you watch my old videos, I used to be so anti-education because I was like, it's such a waste of money, But I recently have realized in the past year or so of my life, having a backup plan if you are in a creative career doesn't mean that you don't believe in yourself. It's just you're thinking outside the box in case things don't go as planned. And I think that's really smart. I think it's really smart to have a backup plan, finish school. Content creation is always a side thing, and then hey, people love when people have regular jobs and lives anyway. So do it for the content, if anything. How does it feel owning a house so young? At times, I'm like, I can do this. This is fun. This is fresh. I love this. I love this lifestyle. And other times, I'm just like, apartment me, please. Send me the maintenance man. I don't want to deal with HVAC issues if I have them. I don't want to have to call a very specific person for a very specific issue. I miss valet trash. I think those are both very normal things to have such a big commitment at such a young age. I'm only 22. I bought my house when I was 20. I feel like no matter what, I'm gonna have some mixed feelings back and forth because I've never been one to be super decisive, and the fact that I made such a big commitment so young definitely does not help that. But I'm very glad I did what I did. I don't want to say necessarily when I did it, but I'm happy that I have it now. And if I could go back and just change things, I'd probably have to pick when I bought it. But other than that, it's been fine. Just the typical back and forth, regular two-faced Gemini behavior. Are you looking at purchasing a new car? If you have ever watched me, you would know that I am very much a if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of person. and my car is paid off. The only thing that gets paid for it is the gas, the maintenance, and the insurance. And I know how much cars cost these days, and I am not interested in having a $500, $600, $700 car note. It's just not for me. I'm very happy with Storm. She's perfectly fine. She just got some new wheels last summer, literally new tires. I'm not really interested in going out of my way to buy something if I don't have to, especially if there's nothing wrong with what I have now. Cars are already kind of a waste of money because the value's always going down, because the more you use it, baby, you're just running it closer and closer to the ground, you know? Yeah, no, I don't think I want to buy a new car anytime soon. God forbid something happens to my car in the more recent months or years that I would have to get a new one. I really hope not. Are you still doing a 21 plus girl talk video advice? I know you didn't like the OG one. Okay, T, if you don't know the lore, I had this girl talk video that I filmed, I sent to an editor. It's not for the weak, because I'm not about to sit up here and kiss your ass. Then again, I'm like, oh. Who would have thought we'd ever see a title like this from me again? Worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I sent it to another editor, and she wasn't able to do it for me. So it's just sitting in the drafts. And I had so many mixed emotions about that video, because filming it was cool, but I would literally have like a physical reaction to me editing it. And that's when I knew, baby, stop doing videos you don't want to do. I feel like y'all really want that video, but I have to get to the point in my life where I just can't do things because people want me to. If I genuinely do not want to do something, I have to be able to say no. I don't think I'm gonna do a whole dedicated girl talk video, but I thought a middle ground that I think I would actually like is I would do a girl talk portion of another video that I want to film very soon. So let me know if y'all want that instead of the full version, because the full 40-minute version of that video is not coming out. There was just too many obstacles and things wrong going into the production of that video, and I feel like that was the universe or God or whoever you believe was telling me, sister, you do not have to do this if you don't want to. Stop. Get some help. Like, you guys are interested in like smaller girl talk portions in videos, or just like dedicated like self-care videos, base, let me know. And this is your sign to go ahead and follow me on Instagram, because that is usually where I ask y'all to send me questions in regards to stuff like that. Not spicy, but what's your height and where do you get your pants/leggings? Okay, so I am 5'1", and I just went to the doctor the other day, and I'm 127 pounds, so you can say between 125 130. I have really long legs compared to my torso. I'm like 70% legs, 65% legs. So shopping for pants for me has always been hard. My favorite places to get workout pants are Aerie. They have the best leggings and just loungewear, period. They do short, regular, and large length. My favorite place to buy pants is Urban Outfitters, and I feel like this isn't new information simply because I've always been an Urban Outfitters jeans girly. I love BDG, that's my favorite brand. But with that being said, a lot of things that fit me in my waist at Urban Outfitters don't fit me in length. So usually what I'll do is size up and then get some length taken off. So if you ever think people's pants look overly perfect on them, but you can't seem to get yours right, go get them tailored. I swear, I know it costs extra money, but getting your pants tailored, truly, truly, truly life-changing experience. I will never go back to just wearing like, oh, I bought these from the store, let me put them on. No, they need to get tailored first, and I'm so serious. Will you upload Vlogmas Week 4 for funsies? Once again, if you don't know the lore. So I did weekly Vlogmas last year in 2023. Y'all loved it, per usual. I have Vlogmas Week 4 on a hard drive. That includes Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I tried new coffee shops, everything, like wrapping gifts, opening them. Like, it's a stacked vlog. I just feel like it's June. Like it's June. It's June. I don't think y'all ever gonna see Vlogmas Week 4, but just know it was a good video, and I've debated on using some old footage to put together an old collective vlog and turn into a In My 20-something diaries. Teach us some lessons. We might as well get some lessons out of that, right? Biggest regret, worst drunk experience, what's your favorite alcohol? Okay, let's go backwards. My favorite alcohol. I used to be a vodka girly. I used to love Syrah. I think I'm switching to tequila. I know what I don't like. I don't like Casamigos. I know that for a fact. My issue is, if you're like, I don't know where to start drinking. Vodka is thick and almost has a slimy, like, lip gloss texture. Not that thick. It's still kind of thick. And the taste isn't that bad. But tequila, it's lighter in weight, smoother in texture, not as heavy, but the taste is worse. So you kind of have to pick your poison, okay? And also, I love Smirnoff. I don't know what it is, but I don't really drink like that. It really has to be a special occasion for me to drink, because I don't be wanting to do all that, baby. I be feeling bad. I'll get to it in a second, but I don't drink like that. But when I do drink, it's usually tequila or vodka. Smirnoff if it's like something chill, like a pool day or something like that, because there's no reason to have hard liquor at every function. Worst drunk experience? Oh my God. Okay, I got blackout drunk one time in my entire life. I'm sorry, parent. I'm so serious. And it's crazy because it traumatized me so bad. It completely turned me off from drinking for like a year, almost 2 years. It was that freaking bad. It was the summertime and I had just got a whiff of what a buzzball was. And I'm over here thinking like buzzballs aren't nothing. So I'm on the way, not driving because you should never drink and drive. I'm in the passenger seat downing this buzzball. I had about half a buzzball in the car and about the other half when we get to the pool because that's where we were. I should have stopped there because I was already tipsy, on the fence of being drunk. I didn't. I kept drinking. I don't even know what I was drinking. I think I was drinking like Crown or something, and it kept getting worse. And then I decided, oh, let me drink some vodka. And mind you, I think I had another buzzball somewhere in between here. I was so drunk that night. I went inside the pool house to pee, almost fell over off the toilet. I got in the passenger seat to get driven home, had to open the car door and throw up. Person holding my hair while they're driving. And it's crazy because I have a really big fear of vomit. I cannot tell you how I felt throwing up, what my throw up looked like, how long I was throwing up. I was that thrown. Literally woke up the next day, worst hangover ever. First and last hangover ever. Ever since then, I pace myself, I don't take shots, I stay away from buzzballs, and I don't down stuff. When I tell you I couldn't eat for like 20 hours. Have you ever been like, you're trying to remember something, but you remember like pieces of the puzzle, like certain scenes, like very certain things? Like I remember being like, I don't feel good, and leaning on a trash can because I couldn't really hold myself up. I don't know why I was walking by myself. Where was the 8 in that? Whatever. I remember waking up at another pool in the car. I remember almost falling off the toilet. I remember laying on a bench in somebody's lap, be like, oh, I'm ready to go home. But I don't remember like much else. Like that's all I remember. I hated not feeling well. I hated not remembering how I got places. I don't like how that felt. So I never got that drunk again. So shout out to the buzzballs because I underestimated you, but I will never play in your face again. Biggest regrets. I think my biggest regret at 22 would have to be not living in a different city when I was younger. Big props to all the girlies. Take the initiative to moving to a different state, a different city by themselves for the first time, because that is no joke. It's scary, it's expensive, and you literally have to get out of your comfort zone. You literally are starting over from square one, right? You're going from everything you know and what you're comfortable with to the complete opposite. And I think the one thing I wish I did was move out of state, or at least to a different city for at least like a year or 2 or 3 and come home after, because I feel like you just learn so much about yourself when you're put in a totally different situation or home situation than what you came from or like what you're used to. Yeah, I think it would just be living in a different city. I see myself moving to a different city for like a few months to a year at a time because the world is too big for me not to experience it, and I'm too young. You know, like even with the house, maybe I still wanna venture out and like live in different cities. This is home. Charlotte's home. But I do have other places I want to live for like 3 to 6 months. Like even a few months out of my own city would be super nice. I don't know why people feel so comfortable asking me this, but kids anytime soon. Do I look like I want to have kids anytime soon? Now, where's YouTube phase? Y'all are going to beat me up. And I mean beat me up. Anything that falls inside that girl talk hygiene era. I hated it. I was so detached from regular people and relationships and friendships, and I like, if I told you I have like trauma, sorry. Oh, stuck to my sweater. If I told you, I think I resent that time in my life and those videos so bad because things behind the scenes were so traumatic, abusive, awful, would you believe me? Well, you should, because it's true. My videos weren't awful, but like it was just bad. Like 16 to 18-year-old, let me hold your hand when I say this. You are going to be okay. You were struggling, but you're better now. That being said, I hope I was able to let you into some of my headspace. There's a lot of things up here. It's very loud. If you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what videos you want to see from me this summer. As you can see, I'm back on my bullshit when it comes to posting videos. So with that being said, follow the socials, subscribe if you're new, turn on that bell notification, comment this emoji if you stay to the end so I know who stayed. And yeah, it's hot, but my outfit is cute. Cute at what cost, you know?